What happens when a homeless man kind of interferes or, well, enters the life of a college student and turns his life upside down or what have you? Well, you got this film right here. Here's a review of a film that's turning 30 this year with honors with Brendan Fraser and Joe Pesci. Big Days Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1994 dramedy flick with honors, released by Warner Bros., directed by Alec Kassisian, starring Brendan Fraser, along with Joe Pesci, Moira Kelly, Patrick Dempsey, Josh Hamilton, and Gore Vidal. The film was released on this day, April 29th, in 1994. So today's the film's 30th anniversary. But I should have said, this film got this big time. Does it still deserve the hate after 30 years? Well, not quite. The film focuses on a Harvard University student who finds himself at the mercy of the demands of a homeless man when he holds his senior thesis paper hostage. Kind of odd, though. Anyway, Montgomery Mike Kessler is a senior majoring in government at Harvard University and sharing a house with friends, art student Courtney, womanizing Rio disc jockey Everett, and arrived medical student Jeff. While Mike is working on his senior thesis, which takes as well a pessimistic view of citizens on public assistance, a power outage ruins his computer's hard drive. When he rushes out to print a backup copy of this, he trips on the street, breaking his ankle and dropping it down a grating into the boiler room under Widener Library. There, he finds a homeless man resembling the writer Walt Whitman burying his thesis page by page. He calls the campus police, who arrest the man, but they are unable to recover the thesis. In court, Mai learns the man's name is Simon Wilder. Although Simon manages to get the worst of the charges dismissed, he is held in contempt, for which Mai pays the fine. Despite Simon's anger over Monty having him arrested, they work out a deal. For every service Mai provides, Simon will return one page of his thesis. Mai takes Simon to the house, where he lets him stay in a broken down van in the backyard. Over time, Mai and Simon become close friends. Mai confides in him about his absent father, and Simon helps him see poor people like himself as human beings. He also shows Monty his collection of stones, each one representing a significant memory from his life. Monty's roommates begin to like the arrangement as well, with Courtney appreciating Monty's newfound open mindedness and ever giving Simon wine in exchange for repairing the van. However, Jeff refuses to let Simon stay in the house's basement on a particularly cold night in case of his parents visiting. When Mai lies to Simon about why he can't come in the house, he ends their deal and leaves. While everyone goes home for Christmas vacation, Mai stays to recompose his thesis. Simon sends a friend to deliver the thesis. He reveals where Simon is staying, but says he does not want to see him. Mai finds him living on the street, coughing and wheezing due to years of exposure to asbestos in the U.S. Merchant Marine. Mai allows Simon to live in the house and refuses his offer of a new deal. Simon gets disability benefits to help with the rent, while Monty decides to completely rewrite his thesis. Courtney and Everett are supportive of Simon's moving in, but Jeff is still unwelcoming. Realizing the seriousness of his illness, Simon writes his obituary, which reveals that he left his wife and child to join the Merchant Marines. Though initially angry, Monty eventually forgives him, taking him as his guest to a campus pajama party as Monty watches Courtney dance with another man. Simon encourages him to confess his love for her. Courtney reciprocates and they begin a relationship. Maya agrees to drive Simon to visit his son. The son he abandoned, Frank, despite the fact that doing so will delay the competition of his thesis. All the roommates, including Jeff, who has come to see Simon's humanity, make the long drive. Frank barely berates Simon for leaving him, and is dismissive when Simon's granddaughter asks who he is. Before leaving, Simon adds a stone to his collection. Now I'm going to the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You'll have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Simon's condition deteriorates on the drive back to the house. The roommates stay up all night reading Walt Whitman to him before he dies. At his funeral, Mai tearfully reads Simon's obituary, where he refers to the roommates as his family and states that Monty will graduate life with honor and without regret. Mai meets with his haughty mentor, Professor Buchanan, and explains why he changed his thesis to a more optimistic subject. The professor accepts his explanation but informs him that he will not graduate with honors due to his lateness. Monty thanks him for his mentorship. He also returns the Walt Whitman book to the library, symbolically leaving Simon's spirit there. And the roommates graduate, and Monty begins his own collection of memory stones. End of story. So, what did I think of With Honors? Well, I will say this is kind of an underrated film. I have seen this a few times. I have some respect for it. I mean, I don't think it's that bad of a film and what have you. Upon its release, the critics were really hard on this. As of now, the film sits at a mere 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying, while it's admittedly well meaning, the film handles its themes in strictly remedial fashion. However, CinemaScore gave it an A minus. The New York Times wrote the well-meaning plot about homelessness turns out to be the insufferable part, but the appealing actors who play the 4 roommates give the film a casual charm. Rolling Stone Peter Travers praised the cast, saying Fraser and Kelly make appealing foils. They deserve to do more than sponge up life lessons from the man they once dismissed as a bum. Now, Roger Ebert did in the Chicago Sun-Times. He gave the film 2.5 stars out of 4, praising the acting but criticized the cliched plot. The film did okay, as it went on to make $20 million at the box office. But however, the Washington Post listed the film as the ninth worst of 1994, courtesy of Desson Howell, that was on his list. Nevertheless, despite the film got dissed, I will say that story is fine and what have you. It was really wow. But anyway, I will say that it does have some cliche bits in its plot, but nonetheless, I found it to be pretty good and what have you. The score for the film was composed by Patrick Leonard, who had recently worked with Madonna, who also contributed her hit single I'll Remember to the soundtrack, which eventually became a big success. Of course, Leonard had recently worked with the Queen of Pop on some of her albums, starting with True Blue and go on through Who's That Girl, the soundtrack to the movie she was in, Like a Prayer, I'm Breathless, which of course was music from and inspired by Dick Tracy, to her 1998 album Ray of Light. He had also ended up being a musical director and keyboards on her Virgin tour and the Who's That Girl World Tour, and also played keyboards with her at Live Aid in '85. I must say, Leonard did an exceptionally good job. Now, of course, the song I'll Remember made it into the top 5 of the Hot 100, but however, it did go number 1 on other charts as well as the the radio and records chart. There's lots of other songs on here. They're ranging from Candlebox to Duran Duran, as well as the Pretenders to the Cult. So the soundtrack's not too bad. Now for the cast of the film, we have Joe Pesci playing the role of Simon B. Wilder. I've got to say I'd say he did a good job, just like he in other films he did, like the first two Home Alone films and Goodfellas, as well as the first two Lethal Weapon sequels, and lots of other films. I know I've yet to see Goodfellas, though. I know I've seen bits of it, but I have not seen the film in its entirety, though. I need to see it. Brendan Fraser played Monty, and I must say he did good after he had recently appeared in Encino Man. Of course, he'd go on to be in other films. I know he did some others. Moira Kelly played Courtney. Of course, Moira recently played Kate Mosley in The Cutting Edge. She'd later go on to play Karen Rowe on TV's One Tree Hill. Yeah, so she did good. Let's see. Patrick Dempsey, of course, you know that name. He will go on. He played Everett Calloway, and Josh Hamilton played Jeffrey Hawks. He, of course, had appeared in other films, but he would later go on to be in other films like he would appear in other films like The Bourne Identity and as well as the cult classic indie flick Eighth Grade in 2018, and many other films. And Gore Vidal played Professor Pecan. Not too bad. And there's many others and what have you. So, with honors, well, it is underrated and what have you. The story's fine. The cast is good, and their performances are good. Patrick Leonard's score was very good, so with honors isn't too bad. But would I recommend it? I'd say sure. Give it a one. I'd say give it a one-time watch if you're interested in it. But anyway, That's my recommendation. So, but for now, what did you think of Wit Honors? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you a re-review of Sleepaway Camp 2 Unhappy Campers. So if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for these other films. And if you'd like some more Brendan Fraser, check out my review of the 2000 remake of Bedazzled in the upper left-hand corner. Or if you would like maybe something with Joe Pesci in it, check out my review of something he did just before this in Lethal Weapon 3 from 92. Or if you would like maybe, well, I'll Remember is one of my favorite Madonna songs of the 90s. You can find out where that song ranks on my Madonna songs of the 90s ranking, the second part. I know I said I would do a third part, but it's been delayed and what have you. I don't know when I'm going to do it yet, so. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.